Have you ever noticed how, as we age, our bodies don't seem to work the way they used to? It might start with something small, a little extra stiffness in the mornings, or a feeling of weakness when you try to lift something. These subtle changes might seem like no big deal at first, but over time, they can add up and have a significant impact on your day-to-day life. If you're like many people in your later years, you might find yourself thinking about how much harder it is to do simple things, walking upstairs, carrying groceries, or even just standing up from a chair. You might be wondering, why is this happening to me? Well, the answer lies in one of the most important factors of aging: muscle loss, also known as sarcopenia. Sarcopenia is a condition where, as we age, our muscles gradually shrink and lose their strength. It's a natural process, but that doesn't mean we can't do something about it. In fact, the earlier we address it, the better off we'll be. So, let me ask you, how often have you thought about your muscles lately? If you haven't been paying attention, now might be the perfect time to start. In today's video, we're going to take a deep dive into why our muscles weaken as we age, and more importantly, what we can do to prevent and even reverse this process. I'll walk you through the causes of muscle loss and share some simple but highly effective strategies to help you keep your muscles strong and healthy no matter your age. Whether you've noticed the signs yourself, or you're just starting to wonder what might be going on with your body, you're in the right place. And don't worry, this isn't about fancy gym routines or complicated diets. These are practical, real-world tips that anyone can incorporate into their daily routine. So stick with me, and by the end of this video, you'll have everything you need to take action today and start feeling better tomorrow. Now, I know you might be thinking, but I'm getting older, aren't muscle issues just something I have to live with? And that's a common thought. But I'm here to tell you, no, it doesn't have to be that way. There's so much more you can do to keep your muscles strong and healthy as you age. And the best part? It's never too late to start. By the end of this video, you'll not only understand why muscle loss happens, but you'll also have practical solutions at your fingertips. Whether you're in your 50s, 60s, or beyond, it's all about small changes that lead to big results. So, grab a seat, take a deep breath, and let's dive into how you can keep your muscles and your life stronger for longer. Now that we've introduced the problem, let's take a closer look at why our muscles start to weaken as we get older. The process of muscle loss, known as sarcopenia, is something that begins slowly and, at first, can go unnoticed. But over time, it becomes harder to ignore. There are several key reasons why older adults experience muscle loss, and it all starts with reduced physical activity. As we age, many of us find ourselves moving less, whether it's due to pain, fatigue, or just the demands of aging. Without regular physical activity, our muscles don't get the stimulation they need to stay strong. Another factor is the natural decrease in certain hormones, especially testosterone and growth hormone, that help promote muscle growth and repair. As these levels drop over time, it becomes more difficult to maintain muscle mass. This is why, as we get older, we might notice that our muscles don't respond as well to exercise as they did when we were younger. Protein intake is another critical element in maintaining muscle mass, and unfortunately, many older adults don't get enough of it. Protein is essential for muscle repair and growth, so without adequate protein, the body can't rebuild muscle fibers efficiently. This leads to a gradual decrease in muscle strength. Lastly, many chronic health conditions like arthritis, heart disease, and diabetes can also contribute to muscle loss. These conditions can make physical activity more challenging, leading to even greater muscle decline. Additionally, medications used to treat these conditions may cause side effects that accelerate muscle wasting. So, what does muscle loss actually mean for your life? The effects of sarcopenia go beyond just having less strength. They can have a serious impact on your overall well-being. One of the first signs of muscle loss is reduced mobility. Simple activities that were once easy, like walking, bending down, or climbing stairs, become much more difficult. This decline in mobility isn't just an inconvenience. It can increase your risk of falling and injuring yourself. For example, Did you know that as muscle strength declines, the risk of falls goes up significantly? A fall can be life-changing, leading to fractures or even long-term disability, which is especially concerning for older adults. But the effects go even further. Reduced muscle mass and strength can also affect your mental health. It's common for people with muscle loss to experience feelings of frustration or depression. When your body doesn't work the way it used to, it can be emotionally taxing. It might even lead to social isolation, as people with limited mobility may find themselves withdrawing from activities they used to enjoy. And there's one more crucial point. Muscle loss directly affects your independence. As your muscles weaken, the ability to perform everyday tasks, like getting in and out of bed, cooking, or even lifting groceries, becomes much harder. For many older adults, maintaining independence is one of the most important aspects of life, and muscle loss threatens that. The bottom line is, muscle loss doesn't just affect your body, it affects your life. And the longer it goes unaddressed, the more it takes away from the things you love to do. Let's dive into some of the research that helps us better understand why muscle loss happens and how we can prevent it. The good news is, there's plenty of evidence showing that muscle loss doesn't have to be a permanent part of aging. In fact, it can be slowed down or even reversed with the right approach. One study from the American Journal of Clinical Nutrition looked at how a diet rich in protein could help prevent muscle loss in older adults. The research found that older adults who consumed more protein had a significantly better chance of maintaining muscle mass and strength. Not only did they lose less muscle, but they also experienced fewer mobility issues and had a better overall quality of life. Another study by Harvard Medical School found that resistance training or weight-bearing exercises is one of the most effective ways to combat muscle loss. Participants who engaged in regular strength training showed significant improvements in muscle strength, balance, and overall function. And it wasn't just for those already physically active. Older adults who hadn't exercised much in their younger years saw impressive benefits from starting strength training later in life. Even more promising, a study by the National Institute on Aging showed that vitamin D plays a key role in preserving muscle function. Those with higher vitamin D levels were less likely to experience muscle weakness or loss, highlighting the importance of keeping our bones and muscles supported with the right nutrients. So, adding a little more vitamin D to your diet could make a huge difference for your muscle health. Now, let's talk about a real-life example to show you just how powerful the right approach can be. Meet John, a 72-year-old who had been struggling with muscle weakness and limited mobility for several years. He had a hard time walking, lifting groceries, and even getting up from a chair without assistance. John decided to make a change after seeing a doctor who recommended he start a daily exercise routine focused on strength training. Along with strength exercises, he also adjusted his diet to include more protein-rich foods like chicken, fish, and legumes, while ensuring he was getting enough vitamin D and calcium. After just 3 months, John started to notice some significant changes. He was able to walk longer distances without feeling winded, and he could even lift a few bags of groceries without help. But the most noticeable improvement was his confidence. John told me that he felt like he had his life back. No longer dependent on others, he was able to enjoy activities like gardening and playing with his grandchildren again. John's story isn't unique. Many people who take a proactive approach to their muscle health experience similar results. It's all about making small, sustainable changes and staying consistent. Let's start with the most fundamental factor in maintaining muscle mass: nutrition. As we discussed earlier, protein is the building block of muscle. So, to preserve and rebuild muscle, you need to make sure your body is getting enough of it. The good news is, you don't need to turn your diet upside down to start seeing results. It's all about making small, consistent changes. You can start by adding more protein-rich foods to your meals. Think lean meats like chicken, turkey, and fish, as well as plant-based options like lentils, beans, and tofu. For those who prefer dairy, Greek yogurt and cottage cheese are fantastic sources of protein, plus they're rich in calcium, which is great for your bones. Don't forget about eggs, either. They're an excellent source of protein and are packed with nutrients that support muscle health. One thing that's often overlooked is vitamin D. Research has shown that vitamin D plays a crucial role in muscle function, so make sure you're getting enough of it. Vitamin D can be found in foods like fatty fish, salmon, mackerel, egg yolks, and fortified foods like milk or orange juice. And of course, spending some time in the sunlight helps your body produce vitamin D naturally. Lastly, don't forget about carbohydrates. While protein is essential for muscle repair and growth, carbohydrates provide the energy needed to fuel your workouts and everyday activities. Opt for whole grains like brown rice, oats, and quinoa for sustained energy, and add more vegetables to your plate for fiber and essential micronutrients. Now, let's talk about the second pillar of muscle maintenance, exercise. When it comes to keeping your muscles strong, nothing beats strength training. And don't worry, this doesn't mean you need to start lifting heavy weights at the gym. There are simple exercises you can do at home or with minimal equipment that will make a huge difference. One of the best exercises for building and maintaining muscle is resistance training. This includes exercises where you're working against some kind of resistance, whether that's weights, resistance bands, or even your own body weight. If you're new to resistance training, start with bodyweight exercises like squats, lunges, and push-ups. For those who prefer using weights, start with light dumbbells and focus on controlled movements. Some simple exercises to start with include dumbbell bicep curls, shoulder presses, and dumbbell squats. Start with 1 or 2 sets of 10 to 12 repetitions, and as you build strength, gradually increase the weight or resistance. It's also important to include balance exercises in your routine. As we age, balance can become a challenge, and improving your balance can help prevent falls. Exercises like standing on one leg, heel-to-toe walking, and even Tai Chi are fantastic for improving balance and stability. Aim to get at least 150 minutes of moderate intensity exercise each week, with a focus on strength training at least 2 days per week. And remember, it's not about perfection, it's about consistency. Start slow, build up gradually, and celebrate the progress you make, no matter how small. Aside from nutrition and exercise, a few key lifestyle habits play a huge role in maintaining muscle mass. First, let's talk about sleep. If you're not getting enough rest, your muscles won't have the time they need to recover and rebuild after exercise. Aim for 7 to 8 hours of sleep per night, as this is when your body does most of its healing. Next up is hydration. Staying well hydrated is essential for muscle function, as dehydration can lead to muscle cramps and fatigue. Make sure to drink plenty of water throughout the day, especially before, during, and after exercise. You can also hydrate with herbal teas or water-rich foods like fruits and vegetables. And finally, let's talk about stress management. Chronic stress can wreak havoc on your body, including your muscles. When you're stressed, your body releases cortisol, a hormone that can break down muscle tissue. Finding ways to manage stress is just as important as exercise and nutrition. Practices like meditation, deep breathing, and even walking outdoors can help reduce stress and promote muscle health. So, let's quickly recap what we've learned today. First, we talked about sarcopenia, or muscle loss, and how it's a common part of aging. While muscle loss is inevitable to some degree, it doesn't mean we have to just accept it. By understanding the causes, such as reduced physical activity, hormonal changes, and poor nutrition, we can take proactive steps to maintain muscle strength and overall health. We also explored how muscle loss affects our quality of life, not just physically, but emotionally and mentally as well. From reduced mobility to the risk of falls and even social isolation, sarcopenia can impact nearly every part of life. But the good news is, we have control over how we respond. We've discussed the simple, actionable steps you can take, ensuring your diet is rich in protein, vitamins, and healthy fats, engaging in strength training exercises, and prioritizing sleep, hydration, and stress management. The science and real-life examples we've shared show that these changes can make a real difference in maintaining muscle health and improving your quality of life. Now, you might be thinking, this all sounds great, but where do I start? Well, the best time to start is today. Whether it's adding a little more protein to your meals, doing a few bodyweight exercises each morning, or making sleep and hydration a priority, every small step you take will add up over time. Remember, this isn't about perfection, it's about consistency. Every time you make a healthier choice, no matter how small, you're helping your muscles stay strong and healthy for the long haul. So take a moment right now and think about one small change you can start making today. Maybe it's committing to a short daily walk or planning your meals with more protein-packed foods. The important thing is to take that first step. I hope you found this video helpful, and I'd love to hear from you. If you have any questions or want to share your own journey with Muscle Health, leave a comment below. I'll be happy to answer your questions and connect with you. If you're new here, don't forget to subscribe to the channel for more videos on staying healthy, strong, and active as you age. I'll be posting more tips, exercises, and advice to help you lead a healthier, more fulfilling life. And if you found this video valuable, please share it with friends and family who might benefit from the information. Together, we can help more people live their best lives at any age. Thank you for watching, and I look forward to seeing you in the next video. Stay strong, stay healthy, and remember, it's never too late to start taking care of your muscles and your health.